Okay, everybody's asking me a question, and then I went on a mission, and I said, you know what? I'm going to find out what's going on. And voila, there it is. Came back from the dead. I thought you were dead.
Yeah, well.
Where you been?
I've been actually enjoying myself quite well, mostly at the dog park and chauffeuring my mother around. No stress, no muss, no fuss.
Yeah, but...
And the only human beings I run into are giggling away because their dogs are having fun. I should have done this 50 years ago. I'm so disgusted with humans and the way they behave with each other and all the bullshit. Total happiness over at the Grant Harvey Center. People giggling with their dogs. Yeah, there's a dog park there. And there's the finest of people and the finest of dogs. And it's just wonderful.
Isn't that the place you just go round and round and round and round?
No, it's a dog park. It's a place that's fenced in, and you take your dogs there, and they're human beings that are actually enjoying each other's company. And it's such a pleasure after, just pissed off with humans, totally.
So you don't like walking the bridge anymore?
I'd rather go over to the dog park, and then I walk the bridge. I did it today.
You did it today? How come we haven't seen you? Everybody's asking about you.
Yeah.
Where you been? Where you been? Where is he?
It's just the dog park, mainly. That's how I ease my conscience, Once in a while, I'll walk over and sit at the green and watch the river go by.
So you do go by the river?
Oh, yeah.
And relax?
Well, totally. That's all I am, in a total denial of what's going on in this crazy world. I've had it. I've had enough.
You had enough?
And it's just me. I'm trying to find a diversion of some sort that doesn't have politics in it or people abusing people in it. And I just watch a lot of YouTube with car accidents, and my God, it makes me drive careful. I watch all that shit. Most knockouts, people shitting on each other. I just vicariously, that's what I live, a total escapist situation.
Yeah, no kidding. We haven't seen you around.
I've had it.
But
they just sucked everything right out of me. This whole Trump shit has just sucked my whole existence.
You like my t-shirt?
My soul. Yeah, that's a wonderful. He's not worth talking about because that means he exists. And he is such a negative, and it's impossible. So that's why I love the dog park. And it's so free out there. It's like a drug with no hangover.
How about the snobs?
The what?
The snobs. Is there snobs there? Dog park?
There's always, of course there is. There's a better degree of snob over on the south side than on the north side. I went to the north side, and I'm a north sider, and I know we're the total equal to those doggone south siders, those snobs over there. They think they're better than us. And of course, got kennel cough up here on the north side, and I thought, well, I'll go check the south side. I'll lower myself, went over, and there was the most beautiful park, 10 times better than the north side park. And there is a bunch of humans that are just a notch above the trailer trash that I was associating with at the north side park. And there was actually a degree of civilization about the dogs, which were slightly more than the north side dogs. And it pissed me off, being from the point, on the other side of the tracks, that it's right, the south side gets it all. That's why I fought all those years, and I'm back in the point.
Dennis Holland's going to be found not.
He's
going to be found not guilty.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Of course, you can't have a rich person be charged.
Nothing to do with money.
No?
Nah, police screwed up. That's all. Well, once in a while, somebody's got to get away with something. Otherwise, what's life all about? That's the good part. That's what I loved about my job. Every once in a while, somebody got away with something. And I said, that's one against the system. And it was just wonderful. Let him get away with it. I mean, he's got to live with it. You don't kill your old man and not live with it. OJ's got to live with his shit, and so will Oland if he did it. And maybe he didn't, So what?
But the justice system is really corrupt.
No, it isn't. It works along just fine. The justice system, it handles people. We don't bump into each other too much. That's what the justice system is for. Keep people from bumping into each other.
The rich and the poor, and the poor and the rich.
Oh, and in between, there's about 16 layers of that kind of stuff. And there are people that are benefited by their positions in life. And that's what you live with. I lived with it over there. I mean, I was dealing with a small percentage of people that had no control over their lives. They had to steal to survive and live.
Roger Brown, new police chief. Were you surprised?
I don't know.
Don't know him?
No.
Used to
No,
be-
I'm not too crazy. Well, I don't have anything to do with the police force anymore, so they can do whatever they want. That's
They could hunt down people riding a bicycle with no helmet.
oh
They don't
sure,
bother you.
yeah, and calls them child molesters and stuff. Yeah, and they take offense.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's the police. I'm just saying I steer clear of them. You know, I kind of made them my friends in a way, because you never know with people with guns.
Yeah, they talk to me now, but that's the calm before the storm.
No, it isn't. There's no storm.
No?
No, you push one of their buttons and they're going to come at you because they will. But I never pushed their buttons. I needed them. I needed the police on my side as much as I opposed them in court. I needed them because every once in a while they could do me some help, you know, with certain things, and it worked. The system was not corrupt. It's just the way it works. We handle people.
Trevor Doyle, were you surprised? Shocked?
I don't know who's Trevor Doyle.
Yeah. Trevor Doyle, he was working a disc jockey for...
That went on. Well, after my years in it, I'm not shocked at anything that humans do to themselves and each other. There are no limits. You know, we put crocodiles to shame. We are the most vile species of animal that's crawling upon this earth. We're destroying it. We're pissing in our own dinner. And really, what is this human race good for? We don't deserve to be here. Elephants and dogs should take over. And the dung beetles should get big so they can clean up the mess that we are leaving behind.
Is it that bad?
Oh, it's just tragic. It is, and it's going on all over the world. The right side is just getting revenge. It's the nerds getting against the hippies, getting against the druggies, getting against everybody that wants to help somebody else, and it's just, let's elect a whole bunch of Hitlers and believe in all these religions and have people tell us what to do, because we're sick of being accountable. And that's all people want. They don't want to be accountable, so they say, okay, Trumpy, you tell me what to do and I'll do it.
What about the
Chicken
drug?
shit.
What about the drug problem? Isn't it worse
There's not
now?
a drug problem. We have a people problem. And if the people problem was straighten up and legalize all drugs and have doctors give enough to make people happy,
crystal meth, and the Dilaudid.
it's the illegality of drugs that makes them dangerous. If we were sane and sober people, we would allow people to have their drugs of choice. We all have our drugs, from chocolates to aspirin to Xanax to all that shit, you know. There's some people can't afford that.
No, they don't.
And they take it and
They
you
do
know,
their own.
So
make
they
their
should
own.
legalize it, and you shouldn't have to deal with somebody that doesn't know what they're selling you. You should be able to deal with a doctor, and the doctor can give you as much to cover your pain, psychological or physical. Holy shit, whose business is it if you want to get spaced out?
You
wanna
got some
sit-
people spaced out right high, walking the streets in Fredericton downtown, screaming and
Yeah.
hollering, and you think
Yeah, they're
jail-
called politicians, and they just
they
had
touch,
their
they touch the wrong way,
and they
then
just
they
had their
charge them.
Xanax. That's what they're just politicians on the street. And they just had their Xanax. There's no difference, honest to God. There's not a human in this country that isn't taking one drug or another, and there's nothing righteous about it one way or the other.
Should we put them in jail? Is that the answer?
For what?
I know, that's what I want to
You know,
know.
people come on to me, what's wrong with reality, Watters? You know, you've got to take drugs to escape. And I had to quote somebody, I don't know who said this, but he said, I don't take drugs to escape reality. I take drugs to enjoy reality. And that's, you know, and whose business is it?
What about that idiot mayor? Have an opinion?
Well, I like the guy. He tends to be staying right out of shit. He knows how to run the
You like the
mazes.
guy?
Yeah,
You
he's
like the
doing
guy?
good. Yeah.
Higgs.
Well,
Higgs. Wayne Higgs, the premier.
well, as soon as he privatizes the drug sales, I'll be happy with him, and then he can go about his business.
I hear somebody told me there was about seven pot shops. What's that word? Dispensary?
Uh-huh.
7 in St. Mary's only. St. Mary's only. 7. Isn't that a lot?
Well, let's just say the market will tell, and if there's 7 up there, they're obviously 7 are making money, because people don't go into that for charity, they go in to make money.
Have you been in there?
No?
Have you been inside the new cannabis store the government owned?
No, I don't need
No?
it. I got my own
You
supply.
got your own supply.
I have half the price.
Sorry. Okay, we don't want to know that. But
Well, someone's got 30, 40 years of experience growing this shit. Why should I trust the government that doesn't know how to run a railroad or deliver mail?
True.
Why should I trust them to grow my weed?
No.
I
So,
got
I mean-
lifelong growers out there.
no. So how come they lost so much money?
Well, that's what happens when you get the government involved in anything. You know, private enterprise still works in certain ways. I mean, you got to have someone take care of the sick and someone to police the racers on Queen Street. But most times you should just let people go.
But that would be totally chaos. Everybody will be
No,
out
they
of
wouldn't.
control.
No, they wouldn't. You know, we're social pack animals. We have had 200,000 years once we jumped down out of the trees to civilize ourselves. We're not there yet. And we're going to destroy the earth before we get there. But humans as a whole group are incrementally getting better bit by bit. We're taking a few steps back now, you know. We just had that war and slaughtered 60 to 80 million people, and now we're kind of forgetting all that shit, and we're letting the power run it. But it'll sweep back. We will survive Trump, but not in my lifetime.
But God will save us.
Oh, yeah. God produced it.
Yeah,
What the
but
hell's
he's-
God doing about it? God allowed this to happen? Big deal. What's God got to do with it?
Well, it's just like the natives.
God created humans.
It's just like the natives. We kicked them out. We treated them like shit. But now the natives are going to come back and save this country.
Oh, they
and
should.
save everything.
I think the greatest irony in the world is taking Mom to bingo up there at St. Mary's and just watching that giant siphon sucking all that money out of those white pockets. Those little old ladies and their white hair and their pensions coming in, and the natives getting their revenge. I just see it. I just hear it. And the houses are all perked up. The people got jobs. It just, I mean, I dealt with those folks when they had nothing but a little hope and not much of that. Holy shit. What a transformation.
You did see it, huh? You
Oh.
seen the gays, no rights. You seen the Indians, no rights. The
Yeah.
frogs had
And
no
they're
rights.
going,
The
"Oh,
blacks
shit,"
had
and
no
it's
rights.
getting, you know, people are getting theirs. It's coming. But it's awful slow because there's an awful lot of heads that got to be kicked in before you can put a brain in it.
People Alliance are not that bad.
No, they are not that bad. They're just a core party with clean underwear.
I don't know, but I mean,
That's all they are. They're no different. They're a bunch of racist
issues.
twits. And just because some of them have intelligence and a clean suit doesn't make them any more than the racist core.
No, but they talk about different issues besides
What issue?
bilingualism. Well, they got the license plate.
All I want to do was to have the government start spreading the wealth around and take care of the needy. And every once in a while, I'm going to get in line. You know, that's all.
Green Party.
It's great to have tree huggers. I need them out there. Somebody's got to take care of that shit because nobody else is. The world's going to hell on a sled as environmental.
Why? There is a question for you. Why do we have floods 2 years in a row?
Well, there's balances of nature. Nature happens. You know. There is no control that a human has over anything outside of making it worse. And it's obvious that humans in 150 years have pretty well screwed things up. But nature is just nature.
What about clear cutting?
Nature does what it does with
Clear
what
cutting.
it has. And clear cutting affects this and that and the other thing. Polluting the rivers does this, that, and the other thing. Having the ice cap go produces that. But nature will occupy it in and do what it has to do with what is here. And it'll probably mean that most animals like us will not be here in a few hundred years. And that's not a bad thing. But nature will settle the whole thing out. I mean, it'll have some amount of balance. There'll be a little leaning one way or the other. And there'll be a whole new species taken over. Hopefully it's cockroaches. I think they deserve it because they've had a bad rap for years.
And
They
loving,
deserve to take over and ruin the earth, you know, in their way.
a loving soul I met is your mother. How old is she?
She'll be 101 July 2nd.
101.
Yeah.
Well, she told me to come in, have a seat.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
almost
got
told her
company. Oh,
this is the year 2019. This is not 1950s. Come on in, and strangers. That's why.
No, this is the house. This is. I was born 100 yards or 100 feet down that street there. This is where I've come in 77 years. Kid born in Vancouver, two born in Vancouver, and in Newfoundland, and one in Vancouver. And I've gone 100 feet from where I was born. That's
Yeah.
progress.
And you're from a strong gene, so that means you're going to be around for a while.
I hope so. I'll use my mother as a poster child for it. If she gets to 100, I can.
Listen, I forgot one thing I was going to ask, and it got to me, and it escaped, and it came. Oh, a lot of people ask you on the street about the videos.
Oh yeah. Some people actually are just finding them. I had somebody said, "I just found those neatest videos, Dad." I said, "Oh yeah, a whole bunch of them."
A lot of people are asking me about you.
Yeah,
Where
I
you
know.
been? You know.
Well, they miss it. See, I always had my out in the courts. I could go down there and I had something that I could pontificate about You know, then Anne called me the rebel without a pause. And it was just neat. I was put on earth for that kind of shit. And then I miss it.
Yes.
And the only thing I missed the last year or two, well, you weren't around for me to vent that, you know, to get some of this stuff out of my system.
Sorry to come at your place. I didn't know. I didn't want that. I mean, this is crossing the line a little bit there, but I haven't seen you around.
No, it is, but the odd time. I would think once or twice a week I do the circuit, but not that much. It's up at the Grant Harvey Center with some humans that I can tolerate, and it's so nice to be in good company.
So since you're with those snobs up with the roundabout, with those things, you don't mind that I come here in June?
Can play with the king.
The end of June, you can invite me for coffee and we'll do this again. You should. Why don't you do your own rant? Why don't you do your own YouTube and just rant and give your opinion?
No, I have this internal conversation going and I don't want it interrupted. I'm having the greatest time agreeing with myself on so many matters. Because once I get out of it, then somebody might oppose me and then I have to fight, and I don't want to fight anymore. So I'd rather just keep my internal arguments going, stay in my room, walk the dog, and associate with people that are just having fun with dogs now. That simplifies my life.
Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. Just Americans are ruining their country,
Trudeau.
but what the hell?
Trudeau.
Yeah.
Is he going to be re-elected?
Look, as you know, I'm the worst prognosticator.
Yes, we found that out.
I can't predict anything because I'm just an underdog thing. Now, I'd like to have him stay forever. He's got the genes of his mother and his father in there, and I trust him.
Bipolar and
I don't care what he is. Yeah, the whole thing is a great combination. I mean, Pierre was a genius. He was my god as far as the law was concerned. He brought freedom to this country. And the old farts have slowly chipped away at a lot of it, and Justin is going to deserve what little is left. Dogs, they settle it. They don't need humans yelling at them.
They don't need humans yelling at them?
That's one of the biggest things that pisses people off at the dog park there. See, when people start yelling at their dogs, and I tell them to shut the fuck up.
What about when they're right between my legs, right between my balls, and they bite one?
They're not after you.
They're not after me?
No, and they're not even after each other. They just having a little talk.
A little talk? Okay.
Look, leave it to dogs, and that's all I say at the park. You know, leave it to the dog. The humans don't know what they're doing or what they're saying when it comes to dogs. They really don't. You watch enough of the Dog Whisperer, you know that humans are the problem with dogs. Dogs aren't any problem. And at the park, it's just neat like that. Dogs work it out if you don't yell at them. And I got to tell some of these assholes, quit yelling. You're just upsetting your dog. Let them work it out. 4.5 seconds later, they're the best to bite. So
you're like a mediator there. You're just saying to everybody, hey, the animals are better than us. Let them handle it.
I'm Caesar Milan's emissary, self-appointed, to go around the world. And in fact, on my trail, I do Caesar to every single one of the ignorant assholes that are, being led around by their dog and mistreating their dog by trying to treat it like a human instead of like a dog. And it's just neat. It's my role in life now. I pontificate, and people appreciate some of that.
And now
Caesar Milan's taught me a lot in 20 years.
And all we have to do is let you read the Bible and be a believer.
Believe in what? Bullshit? I can't believe in bullshit.